Hey, my name's Brian Gray, and let's see, 9/11. Where was I at 9/11? 9/11. I remember I was at home just getting dressed for work, just a typical day. My wife called me on the phone and says, "Hey, you better put it on the news. There's something going on. There's a plane that crashed into one of the buildings." At first, the first thing I thought was like, something must have went wrong. It had been something like that. So I remember putting it on the news, and right when I put it on the news, that's when they were just talking about it, and everyone just still thought it was like an accident, something went wrong. And then that's when we could see the second plane, and the second plane crashed into it. And then that's when I knew something must definitely be wrong. This is not normal at all. So I worked for Bell South at the time, so it was communications, it was phone company. Everyone was trying to call New York by the time I got there, and I remember getting there, and throughout the day we just kept watching CNN, trying to figure out what's going on, and that's when they started saying maybe it was a terrorist thing, and then we found out about the third plane that crashed, and then I remember the weirdest thing was being at work and there was just nothing. I worked at Bell South. It was just constant work. It never stopped. We were always in queue, and I remember that day there was just no one called. We didn't hear from anybody at all, and the only calls we were getting, and they were horrible, they were frantic calls from people that were trying to make long distance calls to New York, like in the city. And when that happened, it took out all the telephone lines, and it just brought down all the communications out there. So that was the worst part of that whole day, was talking to mothers who had kids that lived up there, and fathers who had daughters up there, and they were just frantic, and they were just begging for us to do something, and is there anything we can do? And it was bad. And I was there for an 8-hour shift, and it was like, every hour you had to deal with at least one person that was just frantically trying to call New York, and there's just nothing we can do. And that's probably what stuck with me the most, was just how desperate people were trying to talk to see what's going on. And at the same time, we were in the same boat too. We were just as desperate, trying to figure out what is going on, and what happened to everything. So that was pretty much it. That was a really bad day.